is James Ratliff Racing, based out of Campbellsville, Kentucky, starting first and third. Bobby Pierce, a two-time and defending winner of this race. Starting on the outside front row, Mike Marlar trying to get a win on the 157 for the first time in this race. The pace trucks have made their way to the infield, ladies and gentlemen. 100 laps is the distance. $75,000 goes to the winner, and we are going green in the 42nd Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100.
The new Ag Solutions start zone. We'll see Bobby Pierce fire at turn number 2. He'll take the lead. Looking to make it 3 wins in his career. A long way to go, of course, from the outseas. Last year, he started 14th. He starts second tonight. He leads lap 1, but what a hornet's nest behind him.
Absolute gaggle of cars back there behind him as there's the 18B of Daulton Wilson. Mike Marlar in the 157, the 12, and the 76 going side by side. There's the battle for second down the back straightaway. They come at the end of lap number 2. Jason Jameson, I was calling him James Jameson. Jason Jameson is going to take that third spot away from Overton. There's the battle for second.
Well, you're talking about 2 drivers, and Jameson and Rice from the back here. Can they keep the deck on those cars? Bobby Pierce smooth into 1, 3 in the books. Wilson, Marlar, Jameson, Overton, Tyler Erb, O'Neill, Hoffman, and the Dave Warren Power Sports caution is out on the racetrack.
Our first caution flag of this evening's main event, as we have got debris on the very top side of turn number 4, and so that will slow the field for the first time. 3 laps in the books here in the 42nd Sunoco North-South 100.
Hey guys, right now this racetrack really fast. The key's going to be for those guys back in the pack not to lose the lap as we come back to the green.
Yeah, and the key's going to be for Bobby Pierce as well to try to maintain a steady pace when he does get to the back of the field as well and not let those drivers close in on him. 3 laps scored, 97 laps to go, and we're back to green flag racing in the new Ag Solutions restart zone.
Pierce will lead him into 1. Wilson on the bottom, Mike Marlar on the outside. Man, an aggressive move by Mikey out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Marlar will go to second. He knows about winning big races. 3-time Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals win. But you know this is one he wants. Down the main straightaway, Bobby Pierce leads Marlar and Wilson into 1.
You know, it's got to be tough out there as a driver trying to set a pace early on but not burn your stuff up as well. We did get word from Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Director Rick Schwally. Every driver out there on the exact same tire rotator, the tire setup. On the race cars as Hoffman made contact with Ricky Thornton Jr., and they're both drivers going to lose a few positions as they slid up the racetrack and allowed Hedgecock and the 111 of Blair to get by. Everybody out there with 3s all the way around except the right rear. They've all got 4s on the right rear for this 100 lap.
You wonder about how aggressive it's going to be, as you mentioned, as Pierce right now, the tail end of the field is already into turn 3. He's coming out at 2 down the back straightaway. What about tear-offs? How we've seen that. Will they have to make a helmet change? I think so far so good as Bobby Pierce heads down the main straightaway with a 1-second advantage over Mikey Marlar. And in a few more laps, probably 3 or 4 laps, they're going to pick up the tail end of the field, which right now is Jordan Weaver and Carlton's number 11.
And you know, one thing that I've noticed early on here, James, as well, is this racetrack normally takes a little while to kind of widen out. We're not seeing that. It's already wide. As you see Mike Marlar and Daulton Wilson going side by side in a battle for the second spot. Big Perm is caught back up to the Winfield Warrior, and this happens nearly 2 seconds behind your race leader, Bobby Pierce. But you're seeing guys kind of fan out in the corners. That's not something you typically see early on. How long will that high side last on this racetrack? Will it last all the way to the end? And is that where the winner will come from, or will someone be able to sneak around the bottom of this half-mile oval?
And Jordan Weaver calls it a race. He was the track provisional. He was the highest in the points heading into this weekend. Takes the 11 to the pits. And again, a record 3,500 to start here tonight. So we still have 28 of the 29 starters out there. We're still side by side for second out of turn 2, Dustin, with Mike Marlar, who's got a car length advantage over Wilson into 3, as Pierce continues to hold a steady pace. Overton solid right now in 4th.
And you know, Pierce does hold a steady pace, but they've actually closed in on him here a little bit these last few laps. Pierce's lead was up to 2 seconds at one point. It's actually shrunk. It's 1.294, the advantage now for the defending race champion out of Oakwood, Illinois. So there's a look at Mike Marlar. Marlar's running a slightly different line down in turns 3 and 4. A quick check this time by Marlar is able to take another 2/10 off of Bobby Pierce's lead. 12 laps down, 88 laps to go.
You remember when Eddie Carrier Jr. won this race? Loudest crowd I've ever heard. If Marlar can pull off the win tonight, That would be something else. That would be right up there with it. Last time around it was 1 second. It's still 1 second. Marlar, by the way, the fastest car on the track that last time around, Dustin.
Yeah, Mike Marlar looking really, really good in the red horn. There's a look back there at the battle for position number 5. Tyler Erb, Corey Hedgecock, and Jason Jameson going at it. Remember, Jason Jameson started up in the 3rd position, fell back early on, now trying to work his way back up. Corey Hedgecock, meanwhile, running really well in that 23 car also. Corey Hedgecock started back in 15th, James. He's worked his way up to position number 5 the last time by.
Oh, and he battles in there with Tyler Erb, and he mind they're side by side coming out of turn 4. Those two guys there, neither one of them's going to back out of it, are they? Hedgecock or Erb? Bobby Pierce down to traffic. He's picked up the tail end of the field. We still have 20 to the 29 starters. Carson Ferguson, the final car on the lead lap in 93.
Yeah, Bobby Pierce, that lead is now less than 1 second. Is that air getting a little bit spoiled in lap traffic, and that's allowed Mike Marlar to close back in the back of the field side by side in front of your race leader. You mentioned Carson Ferguson and Boone Briggs. Mike Marlar going to take another couple tenths off your race leader, Bobby Pierce, 17 in the books.
Now we got a shot here at the lead down the back straightaway. Marlar's cut it to 2 car lengths into turn 3. It was 7 tenths on the timing and scoring. Wilson in 3rd. 4th is Overton. 5th is Tyler Erb. Again, Corey Hedgecock running in 6th. As they go into turn 1, Marlar is there. As they go through traffic, splitting Boone Briggs and Carson Ferguson. He'll slide up the track, lose the momentum. Long way to go, though. 17 in the books here. 83 laps remaining.
Again, it's got to be hard knowing that you got to push, and go, but in the same sense, knowing that you don't want to burn your stuff up and try to be patient with the lap traffic as well. Nearly identical lap times that last time by. Dalton Wilson right there as well. That's your top 3 fanned out on your screen. The 2 red cars running 1 and 2. The red 32 of Pierce, the red 157 of Mike Marlar, that black 18D of Dalton Wilson, currently rounding out the Big River Steel podium, 1/5 of the way through the North-South 100, 20 in the books, 80 laps to go.
And plenty of racing room here tonight. 3 grooves definitely as they go into turn 3. Pierce, Marlar, Wilson off at turn 4 as we score lap 21 down the main straightaway. Pierce under the 17 double S of Brendan Smith. Marlar takes a peek on the inside. Out at turn number 2 now. Wilson has got to negotiate about 4 cars now. There's no lap cars between 1st and 2nd coming off of turn 4.
Mike Marlar maybe fishing around a little bit even to see which line is best to his liking. Maybe Bobby Pierce doing a little bit of that as well, as you've seen Marlar run the bottom side the last couple laps in 1 and 2, and right there you saw him roll the middle as Clay Harris, one of your O'Reilly Audit Works Rookie of the Year candidates, going to go 1 lap down. Now Marlar going to try to tiptoe around the upper groove of this racetrack and reel back in your race leader, Bobby Pierce.
Yeah, good battle into turn number 1. Wilson still 3rd as he has to negotiate lap cars in turn 2. It's still Overton, Erb, Hedgecock, Jameson, O'Neill, Hoffman, Moran, your top 10. As we have gone caution-free so far in the first 24 laps.
It's a good race. And again, you wonder if these 2 drivers aren't biding their time a little bit. Mike Marlar in the 157 and Bobby Pierce in the 32. Dalton Wilson was right there with them. Dalton Wilson's really fallen back here these last few laps, as he's now about 2.5 seconds back of this battle up front for the lead. 25 laps scored this time by James, 75 laps to go. Bobby Pierce has led every single lap of this race.
Mike Marlar now clear traffic ahead of your leader, but it'll close up pretty quick here. And Tyler coming up through the field in that 1 car, but Hedgecock has gotten around him. Corey Hedgecock up to 5th. Battle there. They've gone at it, it seems, the last several laps. And Corey Hedgecock, he started back in 15th, as you mentioned, up 10 spots as he has cleared Tyler Erb.
Yeah, he is the early Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the race. He's passed more cars than anyone. That's been a pretty spirited battle back there between 2 hard-nosed drivers, with Tyler Erb in that Best Performance Motorsports number 1 and the 23 of Corey Hedgecock. That race car Corey Hedgecock has, James, that is 1 BMF.
It is. And you see in front of him.
The chassis running.
And Corey Hedgecock slows at turn
2. The commentator's curse.
And Corey Hedgecock up 10 spots. And I don't know what happened, but the Dave Warren Power Sports caution is out. And also into the pits is that Nick Hoffman in 9. And Corey Hedgecock. Again, everybody was running a right rear 4. All 4 tires are up. Ben Shelton, Man, Hedgecock from 15th to 5th. Hoffman has got a right rear flat.
Yeah, and he's it's coming over the overflow, overheating in the 23 car. He shut it down. I'm going to guess that temperature got way up, and he's got the power down. And again, it is spewing its Old Faithful coming out the right side overflow. Meanwhile, Nick Hoffman's down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, and they go to work on the right rear of that race car as a heartbreaker here tonight. And also, Boom Briggs makes his way down as business picking up in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Corey Hedgecock sitting in the race car. And, man, tough break right there. They're going to try to get him pushed ahead, and then we'll get a word on Corey, what he thinks might have gone sideways, but definitely overheating. Corey, you had a rocket ship tonight. 15th into the top 5. What happened?
I don't know. Something electrical. Dash lights were flickering, and it was missing, beating, and banging. So we were good.
Tough break, heartbreaker. But I tell you what, he showed his hand here tonight. He shows he's a contender, and it's just been that kind of year for Corey Hedgecock as the crew crawling under that race car right now, taking a look at the 23.
27 in. We still got, 73 laps remaining here at Florence, Dustin.
They're going to fire in the Nutrien Ag Solutions restart zone on this Delaware double file restart. Bobby Pierce leads from the green, and Daulton Wilson gets a good start on the inside.
Coming off of turn number 2, that Big Hill power plant under the hood of that Longhorn. Down the back straightaway, Marlar, Wilson. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Overton. Is it up top? Is it Jason Jamison? Here comes Jason Jamison. He clears Tyler into turn 1. Jamison back into the top 5 in 12.
Jamison didn't get 2. I think he got 3 or 4 for the price of 1 there on that race start, as he's got that James Ratcliffe Racing number 12 rolling on the high side, trying to reel in the battle for the 3rd spot. There's a good look at the Lawrenceburg, Indiana driver, Jason Jamison in the number 12. Made this race 7 times, but his best finish is only a 13th back in 2014, the 2010 Florence Speedway track champ. And there's his teammate, the 18D of Daulton Wilson. He comes under protest from the 76 of Brandon Overton.
Here comes 12. Jamison, want to run in that second race. He clears to the outside. Jason Jamison out of turn 2. All eyes on the 12. Down the back straightaway. Which way does he go? He wanted to go low. He goes high. Here he comes. Can he keep that deck clean into 12? He is close right now on Wilson and Overton. He makes it over to the inside into turn 1, Dustin.
He's going to try to throw the slider on the 76. He clears him. Brandon Overton does a nice job on the crossover down the back straightaway. And you saw right there, that allowed Daulton Wilson to pull ahead by just a car length or 2. And now, Devin Moran enters the chat in the Roger Sellers number 99. Good race, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all right there on your screen. Hudson O'Neal right there as well.
I'm telling you, Pierce has been out in front every lap so far as we work lap 33. Marlar, Wilson, Overton, Jamison, your top 5. And right now, Overton trying to go to the outside of Daulton Wilson. Jamison, if he can keep it out of the wall, as Moran will get down, they go side by side down the back straightaway. Devin Moran and Jason Jamison. That is the battle for 5th and 6th.
Yeah, great race right there. As you got the 71, the SSI Motorsports entry of Hudson O'Neal right there as well. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and double it up for you at home. There's your race leader on the left side of your screen, Bobby Pierce. Pierce with about a 1.4 second lead over Mike Marlar. Marlar, though, slowly trying to close in on him. And behind, or just to the right of your screen, is the battle for positions 5, 6, and 7. Devin Moran now up to 5th. That's 6 side by side. The blue 71 is Hudson O'Neal. The black 12 is Jason Jamison.
By the way, Garrett Albertson, keep an eye on him. He's up 10 spots, 22nd to 12th right now. 2 caution flags have dotted this race. The last fastest car the last time around was Marlar. He'd cut 0.2 of a second off the lead as they will start to pick up the tail end of the field again as they exit turn 4. Pierce into turn number 4 with Marlar behind him.
Mike Marlar once again. Every time Pierce kind of closes in on lap traffic, Mike Marlar closes back in on Bobby Pierce. Last time by 0.9 of a second. Marlar, the fastest car on the racetrack. Brandon Overton now solidly in 3rd, and he's trying to close in on that lead duo. He's 1.8 seconds back. There's the gap between 1st and 2nd. Again, Marlar closed that gap back in. 38 laps scored in the north-south, 162 laps to go. And this one's getting sporty again at the front of the field, James.
Yeah, it's down to 0.5 of a second right now, or 0.8 of a second, as they're going to battle heavy traffic. Cars running 2-3 wide in front of your leader. Down the main straightaway, Pierce now left to contend with Brendan Smith and Carson Ferguson. He'll try to split him in turn 2. He does just that. And down the back straightaway, he'll open up a little bit of distance. Mike Marler still second. Brandon Overton has climbed to third. In 76th, then Wilson and Moran, your top 5.
A nice move by Pierce there to shake himself free, give himself just a little bit of breathing room between he and your second place car of Mike Marler. Do want to let you know that Garrett Alberson, now the leading candidate for the Todd Steel Buildings hard charger of the race. Alberson started back in 22nd. He has moved up 10 spots, and he currently runs in 12th.
2 caution flags so far as your leader into turn 1. Now Mike Marler, he's gotten around Ferguson. He'll also clear Brendan Smith down the back straightaway. Now Pierce will have Jimmy Owens in front of him as they go to turn number 3. Wow, here comes Marler. Mike Marler through the middle. Dustin, we got a battle for the lead off of turn number 4, and Marler is going to take the lead.
Yes.
Pierce got hung up there in turn 4, and Mike Marler's taking the lead on lap 42.
Yes, he had him at the scoring loop, James. 42 laps in the books. Pierce battling back to the outside. Here we go. Business picking up at the King's Florence Speedway. And Mike Marler has him again at the line. Carson Ferguson, meanwhile, out of the race in the 93, but we got a Jim Dandy up in the front of the field here at Florence.
With Jimmy Owens, the final car in the lead lap, Marler's going to throw it in. He'll let him clear him off at turn 4. Mike Marler out in front at Florence. 7 shy of the halfway mark. Overton 3rd, Wilson 4th, Moran 5th.
Bobby Pierce
How
not
about
letting,
that? Yep.
Yeah, Pierce not letting him get away, though. Bobby Pierce definitely not letting him get away. Mike Marler's been really good here this weekend, and I'll tell you what, it has been a pretty long road to hoe for Mike Marler over the course of the last month or two. Man, they have had every issue you could possibly have. They've been caught up in accidents not of their own doing, and simply put, they have just had lousy, rotten luck. On the right side of your screen right now, James, the battle for 4th. Daulton Wilson has it. He's in that black 18D. The white 99 is Devin Moran. The blue 71 is Hudson O'Neill.
As you mentioned, all went on the right rear of the 4, the hardest compound allowed down the back straightaway. It's about 3 car lengths. It's 0.5 of a second in the scoring monitor off of turn 4. Mike Marler, Bobby Pierce. We saw the battle last year at the end of the race with Pierce and Thornton. Now Pierce trying to go every inch of this racetrack down the back straightaways. They will clear Boom Briggs 3 shy of the halfway mark into turn 3, Dustin.
Yeah, Pierce took it to the top side that last lap, man. Boy, a nice move by Marler there to work around the 6 of Clay Harris. He's momentarily got a pair of lap cars between he and Mike and Bobby Pierce. Pierce, though, able to split them down in turns 1 and 2. Boom going to try and drive back down to the inside. And again, Boom Briggs and Clay Harris, they are battling for position there on the racetrack as well. But Pierce already trying to get that high side mojo going. 1 lap shy of the halfway point here in the Sunoco North-South 100.
And it's about 2-3 car lengths the advantage into turn 3 at 0.6 of a second as they come out of turn 4, halfway in the 42nd annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100 presented by Lucas Oil. And it's Mike Marler, Bobby Pierce, fishtailing it out of turn number 2 as they head down the back straightaway. Remember, as I told you, for that long stretch of racing, as Jason Jameson slows on the front straightaway in 12, and that will bring out a Dave Warren Power Sports caution. Jason Jameson, who started 3rd, was in the top 5 for a long time, brings out a caution as he heads to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Jason Jameson was racing in the 11th position. He brings out the Dave Warren Power Sports caution at the halfway point. 50 laps in the books, 50 laps remaining. Jimmy Owens has also made his way to the infield as well, as we have got looks like a flat tire maybe on Jameson's number 12, and work being done to the 20 of Jimmy Owens. Ben?
Yeah, Jason Jameson, right rear tire, not all the way flat, but it is headed that direction. He'll get a new Hoosier tire on the right rear, that Ratliff Racing number 12. Meanwhile, Jimmy Owens, all 4 tires up on that number 20 Kohler Motorsports entry, but it looks like they may put a new right rear on there, going to work on the back of the race car, possibly tuning up front as well. New left rear tire going on Nick Hoffman's number 9.
So Ben and DJ out of the race so far. Jordan Weaver will finish 29th. Michael Chilton 28th. Corey Hitchcock 27th. Carson Ferguson 26th. So we still have 25 starters still running, DJ, as they are in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Well, Pierce led the first 41 laps. Marler's led the final 8 right now at the halfway mark. 50 down, 50 to go. Keep keep an eye on the 76 and the 99, though. They've got something here. 50 down, 50 to go. Mike Marler took the lead at lap 42 from Bobby Pierce. Hoffman back out and rejoin on the tail. Mikey out in turn number 4 at the new Trudac Solutions restart zone. Takes the Skyline Motorsports car into turn number 1.
Oh, no, we got trouble coming off turn number 4 just as we get back underway as a host of cars come together. Tyler Erb, one of the drivers that's around. Clay Harris has to slide through the infield. Josh Rice and one other car as well. So before we can even get a lap in the books, the Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag flies one more time. 50 laps scored, 50 laps remaining here at the King Family's Florence Speedway. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Flow Racing Instant Replay and see exactly what happened to put us under this most recent Dave Warren Power Sports caution flag as Ross Bales, Tyler Erb, and Josh Rice all come together coming off the 4th corner. And that's a tough break for Turbo because he was running inside the top 10.
Not sure, what did he do? Jump the berm down there?
I couldn't tell if he jumped the berm or if the 87 got into him. It was
All right.
really, really tough to tell from our vantage point. Tyler Erb in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, as is the 11 of Josh Rice, both those drivers being tended to by their crews, man.
And the 87 of Ross Bells is down here as well. We got cars pointed every single direction right now. And right now, it's like Bells, they're just going to pull sheet metal on that race car. Josh Rice checking out the rear end of that race car. Looks like Tyler Erb may get some new tires on the number 1 car. Hey, why not? 50 down, 50 to go. It's a good chance to make some changes. New right rear tire back on that race car. Mud cover going on. Turbo will join the back of the pack. He's going to have to go, though.
All right, well, the yellow lights are turned off, and we're going to go green flag racing this time by. 50 laps scored, 50 laps remaining, and it's going to be Mike Marler at the front of the field leading into the green of the new Trudac Solutions starting zone.
Well, things are falling Alberson's way so far. He's up 2 more spots after that caution. See if he can maintain going to the front more. Here comes McCreadie down the back straightaway. Right now, Marler in front. Into turn 3, Pierce battle for 3rd. Devin Moran on the bottom. Devin Moran started back in 10th and 99. Looking for his 2nd big win in a row in the Lucas Oil Series after winning the Silver Dollar Nationals. And he's climbed to 3rd, Dustin Jarrett.
Devin Moran looking good in that Double Down Motorsports entry on the inside of the racetrack. Brandon Overton still right there as well, side by side behind them for the 5th spot. Hudson O'Neill and Dalton Wilson going at it. A couple other drivers right there as well as that Max Blair working his way up in the 111. Yes, it is. Max Blair trying to work his way into possibly a top 5 as he's coming up on the bottom of the racetrack, and he has it. No, he's in 6th. So Dalton Wilson falls back to 7th. Max Blair has worked his way up into the 6th position.
Garrett Alberson, 22nd to 9th right now. DJs, we keep an eye on it. We could have all kinds of cameras.
Yeah,
what was that?
Well, Devin Moran had 2nd that time by at the stripe as he and Pierce crossed each other over.
Yes.
It looks like one of the prelims last night. Hudson O'Neill, meanwhile, has taken the 4th spot away momentarily from Brandon Overton. It's getting racy behind your leader here at the Florence Speedway in the Sunoco North-South.
Pierce throws it in on Moran. Remember, they traded the lead 4 times officially here last night. Down the back straightaway, Moran over to Pierce. They had a great battle at Houston in the Silver Dollar Nationals. A great run in one of the preliminaries last night. But Mike Marler says, you guys go right ahead at the line. Pierce is still 2nd. Mikey's still in front.
And Mike Marler looking really good at the front of this field. A 1.1 second advantage over this battle for 2nd you're watching between Pierce and Moran. As James mentioned, it kind of looks like one night ago when these two guys were going at it. Pierce, he's abandoned the top side of the racetrack, at least momentarily, James. Gone down to the bottom. I got a feeling we're going to see that 32 get back up around the top side here with about 20 to go or so. Maybe even a little more than that.
How about the top O'Reilly Auto Parts rookie? Drake Troutman started 23rd. He's 10th in car 7.
Oh, my.
Yep. And his first North-South 100.
Garrett Alverson from 22nd up to 8th as well as several movers and shakers here in this one. Nick Hoffman looks like he's going to call it a night in the tie. Touareg Racing number 9, so a tough break for him. He's had a solid season so far, but his chance of winning the Sunoco North-South 100 comes to an end with 58 laps in the books here at Florence Speedway.
Only one father-son combination have ever won this race. Bob and Bobby Pierce. Donnie Moran won it twice. Don O'Neill's won it a couple of times. Their sons running 3rd and 4th right now. Devin Moran and Hudson O'Neill. Tim McCreadie in 6th. Blair, Alberson, Wilson, Davenport.
It don't look now. I was just going to say Jonathan Davenport has gone to the high side of the speedway here on the front stretch, and Jonathan Davenport has come from the 19th starting position, and he is rallying on the high side of the speedway now down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he was running 19th and 20th for most of this race. There's a battle here. Coming off of turn number 4, down the straightaway. Davenport working the outside into 1. He's up to 9th.
Vintage Jonathan Davenport.
We still got 40 to go, Dustin, Jarrett.
I know.
40 laps to go, my friend.
I know. We absolutely do. And, as we say that, again, second and third starting to close back in on your race leader, Mike Marlar. We're going to keep it right there. That's the battle for second on the left side of your screen. Jonathan Davenport coming from 19th on the right side of your screen. He's up to 9th.
Battle for second off of turn 4. We may have to quadruple box this thing if we're not careful here, right? 62 scored. Still 38 remaining. Mike Marlar took the lead on lap 42. He's led the last 20 laps. Pierce second, Moran third, 4th is O'Neill, 5th is Overton, 6th is McCreadie. Now they will start to pick up the tail end of the field, which enters turn 1. So does Mike Marlar in 157.
Yeah, Pierce right there. Devin Moran right there as well. And again, how long before Pierce goes to the top side, or is he just biding his time right now, knowing this green flag run, the 157, is going to close in on lap traffic. Different lines being taken by those guys coming off corner number 4, James. As you saw, 32 keeping on the bottom. Marlar letting that 157 fan out, and you've got to battle back up front again for the lead here at Florence.
Well, 3 of the first 4 runners have never won this race. Pierce the only one. He's the defending race winner as we work lap 64 with Marlar, Pierce, Moran, O'Neill, Overton off of turn 4. It's slowed down a little bit out there, hasn't it? I mean, and Pierce tries on the bottom. Take a look at Marlar as they head down the back straightaways. They will pick up the tail end of the field with Clay Harris, who runs 22nd.
Current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader rookie Thornton Jr. runs 13th in this race, but all eyes on the battle at the front of the field. Bobby Pierce, there he goes. He's going to try to work around the 157. Devin Moran right there as well. And with 34 laps to go, you got a 3-way dance at the front of the field as Ethan Dodson calls it a night in the 74. Pierce going to throw a slider. Marlar gets over the cushion in 3 and 4.
Pierce back in front. Moran will go to second. Marlar with the crossover in the 1. Is there room down there for Marlar to squeeze? Out at turn number 2, Bobby Pierce, Mike Marlar. Battle for second, side by side. Marlar gets back around Moran as we work lap 68 off of turn 4.
Devin Moran, one of the most consistent drivers in the country over the course of the last 2 months, trying to get his biggest career. He just got his biggest career payday a few weeks ago at Houston Speedway in the Silver Dollar Nationals. That was $53,000. The Sunoco North-South 100 base, $75,000 to win. This time by James, 69 laps in the books.
Pierce, Marlar, Moran into turn 1. They'll try to get around the 17 double S of Brendan Smith. Devin Moran trying to diamond off the corner. Moran will go to the outside on Mike Marlar. And he squeezed right there. Back to the bottom. Pierce still leads. 30 to go at Florence.
Hudson O'Neill's there as well. He's got the SSI Motorsports 71 glued to the bottom of the racetrack. Hudson O'Neill trying to work around the 157 of Mike Marlar. Devin Moran's able to clear him down the back straightaway. Marlar's going to peek a nose up underneath the rear decking of the 99. Those 3 cars glued to the inside of the racetrack, trying to hook that inside berm. The front of the field, Bobby Pierce, a 1.8 second advantage now with 29 laps to go.
His car's a little bit better in 1 and 2 than the rest of them. Moran right there in second, Marlar, O'Neill, and Jason Jamison slows on the front straightaway. And a Dave Warren Power Sports caution is out with 71 complete.
71 laps in the books, 29 laps remaining as Jason Jamison slows to bring out this latest yellow flag. We've also got Josh Rice in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And James, the current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader, Ricky Thornton Jr. making his way into the pit area, into the infield pits as well.
Yeah, Ricky Thornton Jr., a lot of damage on the right rear quarter panel and the decking of that race car. They're going to pull that sheet metal away. They're also going to put a new right rear Hoosier and left rear Hoosier on the number 20 RT. He'll have to go to the back of the pack. Josh Rice back in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit as well.
Yeah, Thornton had dropped back to 14th on that last completed lap. So 71 complete, 29 to go, Dustin. It's Pierce, Moran, Marlar, O'Neill. Great battle in there for second on back. Then Overton, McCreadie, Blair, Alberson, Davenport tonight, Troutman 10th.
Oh, there's still 18 cars on the lead lap as well. So the 20-yard team, when they make it back out, he's going to restart this race back in the 18th or 19th starting position with just 29 laps in this prestigious race.
Well, Pierce led the first 41 laps, and then you had Marlar lead, lap 42 until Pierce got back around him here in this running order.
Where's it at in your notes there?
I got to check my notes.
You check that. We're going to go
right ahead. Let's go
back to green flag racing with 29 laps to go. They fire the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone. Oh, man. Several guys get up on that inside berm. You saw them all hop up on two wheels. Mike Marlar being one of them, and that may open up the door for Hudson O'Neill and Brandon Overton. We got trouble down in turns 1 and 2.
And we will have a Dave Warren Power Sports caution.
Tanner English has gone around in the Brett Coltman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett, number 96. And there's a look at that inside berm as you see Garrett Alberson going to come to the attention of Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series officials. Looked like maybe Garrett was just double checking, making sure that the body panels are straight on that car. And you saw series official Zachary Booker down there giving him the thumbs up. So Alberson will rejoin the field in position number 8. That was pretty interesting on that restart, James. We'll take a look at this Flow Racing instant replay and see exactly what happened here. Not exactly the cause of the caution, but watch the 157, watch just about everybody on the inside. Boom, 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 all jump up on that inside berm on the restart.
So 71 complete. Out of the race, Weaver, Chilton, Hedgecock, Carson Ferguson. And we still have, Boom is out as well, right?
Yes.
Tyler as well. So 71 down, 29 to go, still under caution here.
Getting a few of those cars there towards the back of the field straightened up. Again, we'll do a Delaware double file restart. And as Garrett Alberson coming in, he is. Garrett Alberson, who was the Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the race, is going to make his way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. He may have, does he have issues on the right rear of that car? Ben, I see you down there checking it out. What's the issue on that 58?
It definitely seems like it's leaned over on the right rear, maybe some suspension issues. RC Whitwell leaning in to get a word, and they're actually going to pull the left rear off to see what the issues may be there. But several crews down here helping, and they'll see if they can get Garrett Alberson back out there. And you know what? We talk about chassis all the time. Obviously, Alberson and a Longhorn. You got teams, members from Rocket One, other Rocket chassis teams, Longhorn, and they're down there trying to help one of the most well-liked people in the pit area, Garrett Alberson.
See Austin Hargrove from Rocket One down there. I saw Austin Hyndman and Brad Nolte from the Bobby Pierce 32 car. Danny White from Rocket One down there. Crew Chief R.C. Whitwell down there as well. Several teams trying to help out one of the most likable teams and drivers in the pit area, Garrett Alberson in the 58. That's a tough break for him, James. We had just mentioned he'd come from 22nd up to 8th. I wonder if he maybe felt some sort of vibration or something in there as well. So Alberson, man, that's a tough break for him as his field's lined up, and they're going to get back to green, and he will rejoin the field at the back. And he'll maybe have to hope for another caution flag and see if he can work his way back up through. 71 scored, 29 remaining. Bobby Pierce leads him back to the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone.
Moran second, Marlar Overton. Marlar cuts across his nose. Now O'Neill will go back to the top as they come out of turn number 2. McCreadie trying to get the Valvoline number 1 wound up. Max Blair on the bottom in the 111. Here comes Troutman in 7. Bobby Pierce. 3 different lead changes in this race. Pierce leads him in the 1. Moran is about 7/10 of a second behind already as they come out of turn 2.
Yeah, Mike Marlar still there in third. A gaggle of cars on your screen. It's Hudson O'Neill in the 71. Brandon Overton in the 76. Tim McCreadie. Vintage Tim McCreadie up on the top side of the speedway with vintage Jonathan Davenport as well, trying to get rolling around the cushion on this King Family's Florence Speedway.
The 2 wily veterans out here against these young kids as Josh Rice slows on the main straightaway, and it looks like his Sunoco North-South 100 may come to an end as it does as he makes the left-hand turn to the pit area.
Battle on your screen for the 5th position rather, as Brandon Overton has 5th. Tim McCreadie on the high side, Jonathan Davenport on the high side trying to take it away.
Down the back straightaway, they get that run into turn number 3. Troutman digging on the bottom. Drake, where did he start? 23rd. He's up to 8th. Davenport started in the 19th. He's into 7th spot. And McCreadie right there in the back here. Look at this.
Yeah.
You got...
And McCreadie started 17th.
Yep. McCreadie to the outside. Here comes Davenport to follow him around.
Troutman's up 15 positions in this race. He's the current Todd Steel Buildings hard charger of the race in the 7. And your current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader, Ricky Thornton Jr., slowing on the front straightaway. James, trouble with the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports number 20 RT, and that will bring out a Dave Warren Power Sports caution with 24 laps to go. Not sure what the issue is on the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. He picked up a prelim win, and wholesale drivers making their way to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pick. Clay Harris, Jimmy Owens, Garrett Alberson, and current Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series points leader Ricky Thornton Jr. are going to come to the attention of his crew down in the infield.
All 4 tires up for Ricky Thornton Jr., but they already, Jordan Kohler, teammate down here, already had another tire ready to go on that race car. And you got to wonder that a lot of body damage on the right rear around the quarter panel. Not sure if it's rubbing on a tire or not, but they are going to try to get that right rear off. They changed one on the last pit stop. Another one is going on now, though, and a little bit of a suspension adjustment on the right front as well. So Ricky Thornton Jr., they've got the mallet down here. That's a felony assault on the right rear of that spoiler, trying to get it bent back up from damage earlier in this race.
Yes, it's several movers and shakers, and no shortage of drama and storylines throughout the entire weekend here. Bobby Pierce trying to hang on for 24 more laps. Ben?
Guys are getting it sorted out down here. Josh Rice, what knocked you out of the party here tonight?
I started losing water pressure, so I just pulled off.
All right, well, taking care of the engine, lost water pressure, and just kind of been one of those weekends for Josh Rice. But I tell you what, as always, he's put on a show. He's got a lot of fans here, and it's always great to see him. As guys, we're coming back to the green.
Indeed, we are. Jimmy Owens going to rejoin the field at the tail. So will Clay Harris and Ricky Thornton Jr. But we're going green flag racing off corner number 4 is Pierce, Moran, Marler with 24 to go.
In this points racing, Thornton 17th right now in the running order, so Moran and Davenport can really gain on him as we head to Batesville, Arkansas next weekend. Pierce out of turn 2. Now Moran, we saw this last night. Those two went at it in one of those preliminary races, traded the lead 4 times. Right now, Bobby Pierce leads into turn number 1.
And a good battle right there on your screen for the 3rd spot between Mike Marler and the 157, the 71 of Hudson O'Neal, and Tim McCreadie in the Rocket 1. He thought about threading the needle, and that gap closed up. He'll go back to the high side. I'm telling you, if you can hit it right, the high side is there. Here comes McCreadie again, but he's boxed in with nowhere to go.
XR 1.2 in turn 2. Down the back straightaway. He'll have a run. What's he going to go? He cannot decide where to go. He tried to split him there. He'll go right through the middle of him off at turn 4. Here comes McCreadie. They're 3 wide off at turn 4.
McCreadie bounced off the wall coming off corner number 4. Somehow gathered it back up and somehow was ahead of McCreadie at the scoring loop that time by Marler in the 157. McCreadie in the 1. McCreadie's got 4th. He may not be done yet. He's going to try to put the Rocket 1 on the podium right here. He washes up in front of O'Neal, who grabs the wall. 3 wide off corner 4. Hudson O'Neal back up to 3rd.
I tell you, McCreadie, he wants that 3rd north-south win. He wants that first win for Rocket 1. The driver that won the title in Rocket 1 runs right in front of him. Bobby Pierce still leads. Devin Moran 2nd. You're not missing anything between those top 2. But 3rd on back, oh my goodness.
Hudson O'Neal has never finished better than 7th. Or excuse me, he never finished better than 3rd in this race, James. He's made it 7 times. Remember, he led so many laps a year ago. Right now he finds himself at 3rd. And look at Drake Troutman. Troutman continues to work his way through the field up from the 23rd starting spot as the 19-year-old.
I could have swore it was either Dale McDowell or Earl Pearson Jr. Drake Troutman has turned into, right?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Look at this. He's going to get another spot.
Troutman on the bottom.
Troutman 23rd
to 5th
off of turn 4.
If you don't like Drake Troutman, get out of here. Trout gang, baby. president of the Troutman fan club,
Troutman's
the
the
Trout
man.
Gang.
Down the back straightaway right now. They come off a turn 4. Bobby Pierce down the straightaway, 84 in the books. Moran a solid second. Third place right now is O'Neill, then McCreadie, then Troutman.
Man, I tell you what, Pierce is really, really good at the front of this field right now. He continues to pull away, James. 16 laps to go, and he's up to a 2.2 second lead. Meanwhile, look at Max Blair. Blair going to go down to the inside. That's the battle for 7th on the right side of your screen as you got about 3, 4, 5 cars going at it back there. Mike Marlar has fallen back too. That spot in trouble for the 96 of Tanner English on the front straightaway. Will he make it to the infield? He will not. And that will bring out a Dave Warren Power Sports caution with 85 laps scored. 15 laps to go here in the 42nd running of the Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100. And you saw the 96 of Tanner English kind of slowing, maybe with an arm out the window. What happened between those two? Let's take a look at this replay. Oh, right there. Well, you saw Alberson. Alberson maybe got up in the air. I don't know if we can see that again or not. Alberson was at Ross Bales maybe in front of Alberson that he got into. He got into Ross Bales, and then English was right there as well. Kind of like a chain reaction maybe of things that happened between the 87 of Bales, the 58 of Alberson, and then the 96 of Tanner English.
I don't know who that's a bigger break for, but Ben Shelton, doesn't Drake Troutman remind you of a Dale McDowell, Earl Pearson Jr. right there on the bottom?
He's calm and collected, guys. Hey, back to the green flag out of 4, 15 laps remaining.
Let's do it. Here we go. Bobby Pierce trying to go back-to-back for his 3rd title. O'Neill, Moran, off at turn 4, the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone back underway with 85 complete.
15 laps remaining in the Sunoco North-South 100. Here comes Rocket 1 on the outside. Tim McCreadie trying to get a run, and here comes Troutman on the bottom. They're 3 wide for 3rd momentarily.
They squeeze in there. And off at turn 4, McCreadie digging hard. He is still not up to 3rd. O'Neill is 3rd. McCreadie. And O'Neill will go to the outside. Down the back straightaway. Here comes O'Neill, the crossover on McCreadie. He goes back to 3rd. O'Neill trying to get back to that top.
That Rocket 1's the car that O'Neill won the Lucas Championship with 1 year ago, and now he's going at it with the new driver, the Rocket 1, Tim McCreadie. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, Drake Troutman just calm, cool, and collected there on the bottom of the racetrack as they fan out nearly 3 wide again down the back straightaway for that 3rd spot. Hudson O'Neill going to go by McCreadie. He's going to try to bring Troutman with him. Troutman looking for a podium finish here in the North-South 100. James, 12 laps to go.
Do you know how tough that is? This racetrack has been around a long time. A lot of great drivers have never won this race, have never run well in it. But Drake Troutman, his first time here at Florence at 19 years old, right now trying to go for 3rd and 7, and
Almost.
he does. He's got it. Troutman to 3rd.
Drake Troutman. It was Hudson O'Neill that time in the scoring loop, but Troutman got behind down in 1 and 2.
Yep.
Got to be at the loop to make it official. Coming around this time to 10 laps to go, and they're closing in on 2nd place as well. Hudson O'Neill still in 3rd. Troutman in 4th. They're closing in. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all right there on your screen. This happened some 2 seconds now behind your race leader, Bobby Pierce.
How about the future of dirt late model racing? The top 4 all under the age of 30. As we come down the front straightaway, Bobby Pierce right now, cruise control. 2.1 seconds your advantage, Dustin.
Meanwhile, Max Blair's worked his way up into the 5th position. So a shout out to the Centerville, Pennsylvania driver, Max Blair, and that Brad Spoach has Centerline Motorsports 111, your race leader, Bobby Pierce, on the left side of your screen. And that 3-way dance for the 2nd spot on the right side of your screen. Yep, Troutman has it officially that time by at the scoring loop from 23rd to 3rd.
Now can he set his sights on Devin Moran, and the Dave Warren Power Sports caution is out on the racetrack.
Garrett
92 complete, and Garrett Alberson to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit.
Yep, Garrett Alberson has slowed once again, and so, Ben, it'll be a single file restart with 8 to go.
Yeah, and a left rear flat on Garrett Alberson's car, the 58. And right now, if you're Bobby Pierce or any of these front runners, you got to start getting worried because there's been sheet metal that has come off these race cars tonight. You hope they got it all off the track, but these flats continue to happen like we see on Alberson's car, and that's got to be going through your mind. Right now, Pierce has been fantastic in this one. Devin Moran has his hands full, but what about 23rd to 3rd for Drake Troutman?
Well, everybody's running a right rear 4, the hardest they can run, so.
Like Ben said, we've seen a lot of flats. I mean, I certainly don't want to try to stir drama up for those watching at home, but you never know what's going to happen. Less than 10 to go, and a 100-lap race means it's a single-file restart. 92 laps scored. Bobby Pierce leads him to the green in the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone.
He gets a great restart, Dustin, into turn 1. Here comes Max Blair on the bottom. McCreadie got hung up there coming off of 4. Davenport to the top shelf in 49 as Pierce pulls away again. Troutman gets a great run, and Troutman now a bid for second as O'Neill goes to the top. Max Blair working the bottom out of turn 4 with 7 to go.
Boy, Troutman's got that black 7 car glued right to the very bottom of the racetrack. Max Blair trying to take 4th away from Hudson O'Neill. HUD committed to run on the top side, and it's just not there at the moment for the SSI Motorsports 71. Bobby Pierce already stretched out to a 2.5 advantage, but the race for second is on. This time by with 6 to go. And trouble for Hudson O'Neill on the front straightaway, James. Hudson O'Neill slowing in the 71 car. We'll see it does. It brings out a Dave Warren Power Sports caution with 6 laps to go here at Florence Speedway.
And the crew taking a look at this 71 car to see what maybe went sideways. It looked like the way he slowed, the car laid over. It almost looked like he had a flat. So we'll see if that is the issue. If they have something else, we'll get an update as soon as we have it.
All right, for those of you that are watching at home or following along on the My Race Pass app as well, wondering if maybe we didn't lose a transponder on the number 1 of Tim McCreadie. So Tim McCreadie's transponder either fell off or maybe stopped working. So if you're looking at the live timing, you'll see the Rocket 1 scored as 13th. That is incorrect, as he currently sits 6th on the grid with 6 laps to go in this one. Jimmy Owens, Jack Boggs, the only drivers to win this race 3 times. As the yellow lights are turned off and the green flag will wave this time by. Pierce, Moran, Troutman with 6 laps to go. Fire the Nutrient Ag Solutions restart zone off corner number 4.
Yeah, much better restart for Devin Moran that time as they come out of turn number 2. Troutman in 3rd. Tim McCreadie, he's not going to give up on that top, Dustin, down the back straightaway as we enter the 5 to go. Moran now through the middle, Pierce on the bottom. Does Moran have anything left for the 32 car?
You got to go now. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to go now. Dev going to try to roll the middle of this racetrack and see if there's something there. Yeah, I tell you what, Pierce not getting away from him right now like Pierce has the last few times. Does Devin Moran have something in the middle of this racetrack, James? Here we go. Coming around this time to 4 to go.
Moran to the top into turn number 1. We'll have 4 to go next time around. See if he can keep the momentum down the back straightaway. Moran fires. These 2 car leads.
He's there.
1 into turn 3.
He's there.
Moran has got something through the middle. Off of turn 4. Devin Moran, can he make it work? Can Pierce hang on with 3 to go? And he's right there, Dustin, into turn number 1.
The crowd comes to its feet at Florence Speedway. Devin Moran looking for his biggest career win in the Roger Sellers number 99. He closes in on him down the back straightaway. He'll roll the middle again through turns 3 and 4. Does he have enough? This time by 2 laps to go in the Sunoco North-South 100.
Devin to the middle, coming out at turn number 2. He's got to go and go now. Here slipping out at 2. Here comes Moran, another charge. We are headed to Barrett's Performance, 1 lap to go. Can Florence come through again? 1 lap to go, Dustin Jarrett.
Is he close enough? 0.3 of a second, the advantage last time by. Moran lost some. Moran will try to roll the top and get 1 last run. He's got a good run down the back straightaway, but I don't know if it's enough. Through turns 3 and 4, Devin Moran's going to go to the top side. Off corner 4 is not going to be enough. Bobby Pierce wins the Sunoco North-South 100 for the 3rd time in his career. Second will go to Devin Moran. Drake Troutman 3rd. 4th, Max Blair, and Brandon Overton will round out the top 5 with Jonathan Davenport 6th, Daulton Wilson 7th, Ricky Thornton Jr. rallies for 8th, Tim McCreadie falls in 9th, and how about Zack Dohm rounding out the top 10 unofficially at the finish of this one. And there's still, of course, 1 bit of business left to take care of as these drivers have to make their way into the UNOH Tech and Scale area here at Florence Speedway.
And race fans, let him hear it. Your winner here tonight, Bobby Pierce. $75,000, and him and the car are rolling backwards down the front straightaway as the bank account's going to be rolling over with a big payday in there. Sunoco checkered flag in hand. Bobby, you got to the lead early, man, and it looked like that was going to be all she wrote. Were you ever worried when Marler went around you?
I was very worried there. The track, it kind of was loose on some spots I'm normally really good at, where I can get my launches off the corner, and I knew it wasn't going to be there at the end, and there was 50 laps to go there, and I'm sitting in second. I was like, man, we're only halfway through this race, and I feel like I'm already burning the tires off of it, and it's just, the track was abrasive and slick and very, very slick. You know, it was super hard to run the top, and we finally started working on there, and Devin showed his nose, and I really wanted to stay in second because you have control on the restarts of where, you know, what line you want to pick. So I knew I had to stay in front of Devin, and he started not in the back, but he was kind of back there a little ways, and so he was coming to the front, so I knew it had to be pretty good. And I figured it'd be me and him possibly battling out there at the end once I got the lead and I saw Devin in second, and I was like, man, I just got to stay ahead of him and do what I got to do. It was a tough race, man. It's not fun for me to run the bottom like that towards the end of the race. I'm way more comfortable running the top, so I'm like cramped up right now. Just the amount of focus it takes to run the bottom, in my opinion, is harder than the top. So it might not look like that sometimes, but it is. So very tough, very fun race though, and congrats to Devin and Troutman on third, yeah.
So all the flats start happening. Do you get any concerns? Because you're seeing some of these race cars, they're pretty beat up. Do you start getting worried about any issues on your race car?
Yeah, the main concern was possibly just stuff in the racetrack. I felt like I still had tread and everything, and I wasn't overly abusing them. A couple times early in the race, you know, when I really had to push it, it just wasn't as fast like it normally is. You know, you couldn't hustle that top side like you normally can, and yeah, man, just very tough though to have that mindset. Every caution that comes out, especially towards the end of the race, I felt like there was like 20 to go, then 15, then 8, then 5, then it's like we went green for that first portion of the race. Then it gets to the end, we have the cautions. I hated to see it, so it was very nerve-wracking for me. I had to kind of talk to myself in the car under them cautions, just keep myself calm, because like I said, I'm not comfortable doing that stuff down there. But we got her done, and the car was awesome. Got to thank my crew. They've been working so hard all the time, all year, and Justin, Austin, Brad, my dad, Leek is here. A lot of people here, a lot of family here. Obviously, my mom being from Florence, there's a lot of my family members here. All my sponsors, I can't thank them enough. You know, it doesn't just take winning to get these things done. You know, it takes good sponsorship help, and super appreciative of all them guys. Low Voltage Solutions, Hoker Trucking, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Rio Grande Waste Services, Churchill Transportation, thanks for lasagna, Collins Brothers Towing, Toyota of Danville, Performance Bodies, Bilstein Shocks, Bill Hill Engines, Longhorn Chassis, Wildwood Brakes, Profab Headers. Oh, man, my mind's going blank. Bert, Buddha. Everybody helps us out, man. It's awesome, and we keep winning these races. I don't know. You just ride this wave as long as you can, because it's been awesome lately, you know. I don't really even know what to think right now. I'm kind of like, it definitely hasn't sunk in. It's going to take tonight for this to sink in.
Winning this race, you joined, only two other guys have won it 3 times. A guy named Jimmy Owens and the late Jack Boggs. What does that mean to you to join that company?
Man, that's incredible. It's kind of crazy, honestly, when you think back to it. This racetrack, I kind of said it, I think yesterday, Thursday. I said how this track really was hard on me when I first came here. You know, I think I came here at first when I was like 15 years old, and, you know, I came to many North-Souths and Spring 50s and Fall 50s, and never really came to local races, but, you know, those kind of little specials, and it was a thorn in my side for a long time, and my dad said, you know, you'll figure it out someday, and when I finally figured it out one of them years, many years ago, this became one of my favorite racetracks, and I just know the history this place has. I mean, it's got the Dirt Late Model National Hall of Fame right here, and my parents basically met here, I think, and the whole 9 yards, 10 yards there. There's just lots of history for us here with late model racing, and so many of them great names on there, man. We'll be back next year, try to win a 4th.
It's no longer a thorn in his side. It is a jewel in his crown. Bobby Pierce wins tonight's Sunoco North-South 100.
All right, Ben Shelton's going to make his way over and grab a word with your second and third place finishers, the drivers that rounded out the Big River Steel podium, and a guy that made a valiant charge over the course of the last 6 laps is going to join him on the front straightaway. Your second place finisher is Devin Moran.
Devin Moran, a second, and another second tonight. I feel like you had to work really hard for this second. What was your biggest challenge tonight, maybe versus the previous nights?
Just battling up through the field, and just you got to get in front of that 32 car before he gets in the lead, and if not, it's hard to stay in front, or it's hard to pass him. That's what we did at them and their champagne. That's what we did at Houston's. We got out front, and then he was chasing us, and I thought I had a shot to get in front of him. We slid each other a couple times, and I just couldn't stay in front of him. So I shouldn't be bummed for running second. Like, it's a really good race and a really good run for us. Just I felt like we had a really good shot at winning there, and just weren't quite good enough. But Bobby and them guys did a great job, but so did my guys. Roger Sellers with Double Down Motorsports, Robbie, Casey, and Connor back at home. All my crew guys bust their tails night in and night out. Chuck, Mason, DK, Brad, Tad, and everybody. So can't thank them. My beautiful wife and all my great sponsors. Big River Steel, C&W Trucking, Lazy Days RV, Bomag, Southeastern Equipment, Pee-wee's Record Service, CarSourceAuto.com, Red Oak Pub, McHugh's. I have so many great supporters, and I can't thank everyone for letting me live out my dream. Sometimes we get in the moment of racing and we don't realize what we're actually doing, and I live one of the best lives I feel like I could possibly live. So I'm happy as can be, and blessed by God, and I'm just glad to come to Florence. They had to do a great job here with a hell of a crowd.
Race fans, how about Devin Moran, second on the Big River Steel podium? DJ, I'm going to toss it up to you because Drake Troutman is parked in another zip code.
Yeah, and they had to push that car out after he crossed the UNOH Tech and Scale area. He's unofficially the Todd Steel Building's hard charger of the night, starting 23rd and rounding out the Big River Steel podium this evening. It's going to be Drake Troutman, the 19-year-old out of Hyndman, Pennsylvania. His victory lane celebrations continue on the front straightaway. And I'm curious if there was an issue on that 7 car, as that's why they had to push it back out on the racetrack, and what his thoughts were in working his way through the field. And he's caught up with our very own Ben Shelton right now.
Drake Troutman, 23rd to 3rd, the Todd Steel Building's hard charger. First question, the car had to be pushed back out here. Did you have any issues late in the race or after it?
No, just the starter went out of it there, so we can fire it back up. But I don't know, man. Definitely a heck of a night. That whole invert deal there kind of hurt us, but I thought maybe get a top 10 at best, but I don't know. The boys never gave up on me, and I don't know. We had a really good Longhorn chassis, J. Dickens race engines, Bilstein shocks. Track was pretty damn good at night, and I don't know. Just got to thank all my sponsors that are on this race car, and my crew, Hunter and Mason. He isn't here with us this weekend, and my buddy Ian, he just left for the Marines. So just everyone who helps us out on this program, and congrats to Bobby and Devin on second, and I don't know, go this week, get back to work, and give her hell at Batesville.
You're passing Hall of Famers, you're passing event champions. This car was marching forward. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but if you've started a little further toward the front than 23rd, do you think you had anything for those top 2?
I don't know. Bobby and Devin's been pretty well the class of the field here recently, and I don't know. I'm just happy to be up here at this race.
Race fans, he's happy to be up here. How about it for Drake Troutman? He comes from 23rd to 3rd, rounds out your Big River Steel podium.
He's always even keel, isn't he?
He is a very even kill man.
Yeah.
Another very even kill man into the Penske top 5 and 4th. From 11th to 4th, Max, it seemed like there late in the race, this race car came to life. Is that how it felt for you as well?
Yeah, it kind of came and went as the race went on there. I at one point with maybe 25 to go or so, I think I fell back to probably 9th or 10th, and I wasn't having a whole lot of fun. But then it came back alive there at the end. When Drake got by me, he just kind of showed me I don't think when I was trying to run the bottom, I wasn't running it low enough. So I kind of started trying to do what he was doing, and I got a whole bunch better. But, man, that was a lot of fun. This place is awesome. I love coming here.
Race fans, Max Blair comes home in position number 4. And rounding out your Penske Shocks top 5, Brandon Overton. Brandon, why do I feel like this is going to be a colorful answer? I've got one question for you. Brandon Overton in 5th. Did you have a 5th place car tonight? That's the question.
Yeah, probably. I couldn't. Obviously, the preferred line at the end was the bottom. I was better up the racetrack, kind of in the middle, where my line. So I just would sit down and get flat and scoot and slide, and finally, at the end, I think 2 restarts before every restart, I'd lose a couple positions. And right there at the end, I got a break and slipped past McCreadie and them. I think they bottled up right there. And then I moved up again and was working on Max, but ultimately had to get back down and run 5th. Hell, I mean, I'll take it. I feel, like I said, there's so many good cars here. It's such a tough race to make and to be in the show. And I love coming here. I love seeing all the fans. Like it's a cool atmosphere. So, we'll take our 5th and then see them again next year.
Race fans, Brandon Overton rounds out the Penske top 5.